Okay, I'm going to show you how to work the tubular 1x1 bind off. This is a really nice clean stretchy finish that goes well with a tubular cast on like I've used here. I use this technique in my Fonda sweater, but you can substitute it really wherever you have a 1x1 rib bind off. It makes just a really nice professional edge, and it's worth the extra time that it takes, in my opinion. So to start, you want to break your tail about 3 times longer than the work that you have to do. And you need a tapestry needle. I like these ones that have a bent tip. They're kind of nice to work with, but you can use a straight one. It doesn't really matter. So you're going to want to thread the tail through your tapestry needle. Oopsies. If you're okay. And we're going to do 2 setup stitches before we begin the pattern that will repeat the rest of the way across. So the first thing we're going to do is insert our tapestry needle purlwise into the first stitch and then pull the yarn through. So insert it purlwise and just pull it through and leave it on the needle. Next, we're going to go behind the work and we're going to insert the needle knitwise into the second stitch. So it's a little bit finicky, but not too bad. So you kind of go behind and insert and stick your needle, between those 2 stitches. I find it kind of easier to pull my yarn through and then work from the front. I just insert it knitwise and then pull that through. All right, those are the 2 setup stitches. Now we're going to begin a series of 4 steps that we repeat all the way across. So step 1, insert the needle knitwise into the stitch and slip it off into the first stitch. So knitwise into the first stitch and slip it off your needle and kind of give it a little pull. Okay, the next step is with the tapestry needle in the front of the work, insert it into the second stitch purlwise. So that's the second stitch, and we're going in front. The second stitch is there, purlwise, and pull the yarn through, leaving both stitches on your needle. Next step, insert the needle purlwise into the first stitch. So first stitch, purlwise, pull the yarn through and slip that off the needle. All right, now the 4th step, we are going to hold the needle behind the work and insert knitwise into the second stitch. So again, back through those 2 stitches from the back, and you can pull the yarn through if you want to. Knitwise through the second stitch, pull it through, and leave that on the needle. Now we're going back to step 1. Insert the needle knitwise into the first stitch and slip it off. Knitwise into the first stitch and slip it. Sorry, you're going to keep your yarn tidy. Slip it off and give it a little pull. Okay. Step 2, with the needle in the front of the work, insert purlwise into the second stitch. Pull the yarn through. Step 3, insert the needle purlwise into the first stitch and slip it off the needle. So purlwise, pull the yarn through. Sometimes it wants to get tangled around, but you just want to help it along and then slip that off the needle. Thanks. And you can start to see the beginning of our bind off working there. Okay. Step 4, with the needle behind the work, you come and you're going to insert the tapestry needle knitwise through your second stitch and pull the yarn through. Back to step 1. Insert the needle knitwise into stitch 1. And slip the stitch off the needle. Step 2, with the needle in front of the work, insert purlwise into the second stitch. Pull the yarn through, and then you're going to put the needle purlwise into the first stitch, pull the yarn through. Goodness, it's all wrapped around. And then you slip that off the needle. Okay, step 4, with the needle behind the work, you come through those 2 stitches and then knitwise through the second stitch. Pull the yarn through. And now we're back to step 1. Insert the needle knitwise into the first stitch, pull the yarn through and slip it off the needle. And you're going to continue working along in this manner until you have bound off all of your stitches, ending with step 1 repeated one last time. That's insert the needle knitwise into the last stitch, slip it off the needle, and then you can just thread the needle through the loop there and finish it off. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I hope this helped.